Take two.
John's just said it. Take two. Everyone, we were 17 minutes in to an extraordinary match preview. No, we're not. I've got football tonight, so this is going to be short but sweet. John is here. He's going to talk about the game. It's Everton against Manchester City match preview. How are you feeling, John?
Do you know what? I don't know what to feel, because I look back at the game that we had in December against City at Goodison, where I think we went 1-0 up. And we give them a game up until half-time. I was listening to TalkSport today, and they absolutely hit the nail on the head when they were talking about City. They're a different animal in second half of games if they have to be, and they're a different animal in the second part of the season as well. So I have hope, because as you quite rightly said to me today, we've kept the most clean sheets in the Premier League. And we've created the most chances in the Premier League. We just don't convert them. Sean Dyche has come out today saying Calvert-Lewin will start scoring. Well, it's either him or someone needs to start scoring regularly to turn these chances that we're creating into goals. So we are creating chances. And I said to you today, Michael, about the Brentford game City played the other night. Even when City were leading that game, they were still allowing Brentford to have chances and create chances. So that's what you get with this Manchester City team. They'll let you create chances. But what worries me about us is if we get them chances, we're not converting. They've got Haaland back in and around the team. De Bruyne's back. Foden's playing out of his skin. A hat-trick recently. So it is a tough game. Our away form's being good, as you pointed out. We've had a point at home against Tottenham, a good point. A game we could have won. We got a good point away at Fulham. So we have picked a bit of form up. Yeah, it is 2 draws. Do we go there with the confidence low in the team? No, I don't think we do. I think that we're going to go there. We're going to give them a go. Positivity is probably 30% out of 100%. But they do give you chances, so we've got to start taking them.
Yeah, there's a couple of things to remember. I'm pretty sure it was last season we got a 1-1 draw there to Mari Gray scoring a phenomenal goal in about the 85th minute. Everton haven't got this weird, horrible sense with Manchester City. I've always thought Everton go into these games, and Man City, look, they're phenomenal, they're brilliant, they're a great team. They're corrupt, all of those things that, you'd probably label Everton with as well, all these opposition fans. But you can't fault how fantastic they are at football. You can't fault how fantastic their manager is. You can't, there's not a single player in that team that probably wouldn't walk into Everton, you respect that. But that doesn't mean you go there and you just lie down and let them win 5-0. You go into that game a solid block at the back, making it nice and deep, making sure that they can't compete for, the second ball in midfield, because you've got your onrush in midfield causing them problems. You make sure that you press when you've got the ball and the opportunity to do that. But as Sean Dyche, I think, said earlier, and I really like the saying, you're not an empty crisp packet in the wind. You're not silly. You're not stupid. You don't run around for the sake of it. You make yourselves really difficult to break down. And look, one thing that I will give credit to for Dyche this season is we are difficult to break down. We do have moments where we've been poor, but you are right, and you have mentioned it. We've kept, I think it's the highest amount of clean sheets in the league, if not the joint highest. We haven't conceded hundreds of goals this season. It's like chalk and cheese. We just need to score. We just need to start scoring. And we scored 2 goals against Tottenham. Keeper's a little bit different. Physicality is a little bit different. But on those set pieces, now we know we can get away with it, giving the goalkeeper a little bit. I'd be tempted to do that against City, John. It's an opportunity there. Look, I don't think Everton win, and I don't think Everton get a point. But if you'd have asked me 3 weeks ago what the score would have been in this game, I probably would have said 3-4, 5-0. I think it's going to be a really scrappy 1-0, and I'm really hoping we can actually get a point.
Well, the way you pointed out there, the way Sean Dyche was talking today in his press conference that, you know, we're not going to go there and attack. As you quite rightly say, we're hard to break down. I think that's the way Everton are going to set up. Be hard to break down. And if you can, with Manchester City, hit them on the counter, try and hit them on the break. I think that's the only way, at most, we get a point out this game. Hit them on the break. We've got pace. You know, it's a shame Dan Juma's out, but we've got Jack Harrison there that looks like a Nana's back in. So we can hit them on the break. As you quite rightly say, we have to stop them playing. We have to stop them controlling the game and basically taking the mickey out of us all over the pitch. If we can stay tight, if we can form that tough block to break down, then City are going to push and push and push and push further to break us down. That's why I say, if we can, hit them on the break, try and get in behind them. Because defensively, as I said before, they do concede goals. The problem we've got is they can score goals at will if they need to. So that is why I'm hoping our defence continues to play the way we have in the last couple of weeks. Tough to break down, good in the tackle, strong. Branthwaite putting his head in where it hurts. Branthwaite, you know, I think it was last season, or it might have been the game of season. Haaland and Branthwaite. Haaland got very, very frustrated for the way Branthwaite was playing against him. He has to do that again. Don't give him a minute. Don't give him any space. Mark him out the game if you can. It's tough to mark any of these City players out the game. But be in his back pocket, wind him up. Don't let him get any space. Mark him tight from dead ball situations, corners, you know, crosses coming in. Listen, they're a different animal going forward. They've got goals all over the pitch. It's being proved. Look where they are in the league now. They've had De Bruyne out. They've had Haaland out. Grealish isn't playing every week now. You know, Grealish isn't getting much of a go. But they've been playing that Doku. He's got pace. He can get in behind us. So it worries me who our right back's going to be. I'd have no problem putting Ben Godfrey there. I think Ben Godfrey will give that Doku a good game.
Yeah, and I think Ben Godfrey had a phenomenal game at right back. He was fantastic, and he has played well the last couple of times I've seen him. I agree with you. I'll start Ben Godfrey at right back. Ananu obviously comes into the middle. Garner's there already. Garner had a phenomenal game last week. Ladrusa Garner game he was great. The other Garner, I kind of want to see him do a little bit more. Actually, he was. I didn't think he was great in the first half, but in the second half he had a better game. And then, you know, as you say, it's the front three and what we're going to get out of them. And I'm absolutely fine with Calvert-Lewin starting. I am, but I always worry that we play these long balls. You know, I was just looking at stats. Everton have played the most long balls this season, according to Premier League stats. You would think that our transition, you think we'd be better at dealing with it. You know, we'd be better at having players off Calvert-Lewin or off Beto or off people that go up front. But we haven't really. We haven't capitalised on that. And I honestly think from corners and things, we should do exactly what we did against Spurs, put a couple of players on the goalkeeper and really make it difficult for them. We know that City are going to have 70%, if not 75, 80% of the ball. So when we've got our chances, we've got to use them. And look, I don't think we get smashed. I just don't. I don't think we get smashed. I think we lose. And I think we lose because Manchester City are better than us. You know, they are better than us. And if we lose 1-0, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be disheartened going into games in the next couple of weeks. So Everton can get results in, you know, the Crystal Palace game at home. We can go to Brighton and get a point. We beat them 5-1 last season, you know, West Ham at home. There's a chance to get sort of 7 points or something out of the next probably 4 games, 7-9 points. So whatever the score is, let's not be down. Let's just get on with it. Just go there, do a job and leave. Simple.
I think, well, I totally agree with you. You know, if we go there and put a performance in and we get beat 1-0, 2-0, I think I don't think they'd be too downhearted for the simple fact of the matter. As long as they put a performance in, we know we've got them games coming up, as you quite rightly said, where we can get points. Palace at home, West Ham at home. Quite right what you say about Brighton away last season. So I won't be too downhearted, and I know it's a silly thing to say, but listen, we're talking about Manchester City here, probably the best team in the world at the minute, club side. If we get beat 1 or 2-0, you know, I'm not going to say I take that because I want Everton to win every game. But if we put a performance in, and you're quite right with what you say, crowd the goalkeeper, that's the first time I've seen Everton play like that under Sean Dyche, and it worked. Every time we got a dead ball situation or we put crosses into that box, their keeper flapped, the defence flapped. Do that with Manchester City and make some of them opportunities. If we play like that, like we did against Tottenham, crowding the goalkeeper, we will get opportunities, Michael, but we have to take them. Going back to what you said about James Garner, yeah, totally agree. He's looked off it the last few weeks. But when you look at it, the last couple of games, Michael, he hasn't really had a recognised midfield partner. You know, we've got Toure still out, Anana's been out, and Drissagana Gay's been away with the African nations. He's only just come back. I think it was the African nations or whatever he was in. But I thought he looked a bit better when he had a Drissagana Gay next to him. And I think James Garner, if he hasn't got one of Anana or a Drissagana Gay next to him, you don't see the best of James Garner, because I think he feels like he's got to do more and he can't play his own game. He's had so many different midfielders the last couple of weeks next to him. Now we've got a Drissagana Gay back, who, in my opinion, was man of the match against Tottenham. You'll probably start to see the James Garner we've seen up until a few weeks ago, where when he's played in the middle, he's been absolutely brilliant for us.
Yeah. Let's just move on, because obviously I have got to get changed for football. So I just want to touch on something that come out today. And to be honest, me and you agree with this. So this is pointless. And I actually think, from reading the comments, I'd argue that 90% of the football world agree with this. Blue cards for sin bins. What is going on with IFAB and the people that are creating and changing this game of football? You know, football has been played for roughly 150 years, and we've messed about with it so much in the last 5 years that, if I'm being honest, I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules. I don't really enjoy when we score a goal, because I don't celebrate, because I expect it to be chalked off. You know, you see incidents where you go mad and you're like, that's a red card, that's a yellow card, that's a foul, and we don't get given stuff like that. And you know, I know there was a lot of fans talking about the referee's performance against Spurs the weekend. I actually didn't think it was that bad. I've seen worse performances by ref at Goodison, but this is the problem. The metrics that these guys are using, the PGML, the Premier League, the Officials Association, the FA, IFAB, it's absolutely destroyed the game of football. And this blue card, if I'm being honest, is an absolute disgrace if it actually comes in, which apparently it's gonna, is a disgrace.
I mean, the way they're changing the rules now and the way football's gone, what you've got to start thinking is, in years to come, are we going to need a referee on the pitch? Because the game's practically refereed for them now, Michael. Right, you've got VAR, who are overturning his decisions. You're now bringing blue cards in, where VAR already get involved with yellow and red cards. So they're going to be involved in the blue cards. Again, it's another rule change that they're trying to fix something that is broke, but it's only broke because of some officials and because of VAR.
Because they broke it.
Because they broke it. They've broken something that wasn't broke. As you quite rightly say, how long's been football played for? It was enjoyable. There was no VAR. There was no rubbish referees. There was no corrupt referees. You know, the players got on with it. They accepted the decision. Now I can see why players get frustrated, because the decisions that go against them is just unbelievable. Whether it be Everton, VAR's ruined the game. That needs looking into. You had one of the ex-referees on TalkSport today, and he said it needs binning. and that's an ex-referee, needs binning or get it right. I don't understand the full rules of the blue card yet because I haven't really read the full thing, what the Athletic put out. But basically, you're going to get put in the sin bin for 10 minutes. What happens if a goalkeeper gets sin bin for 10 minutes?
Yeah, I have a funny suspicion that the goalkeepers will essentially, an outfield player will come off the pitch and the goalkeepers may also be subbed temporarily.
I think it's coming out tomorrow, isn't it? I think they're going to announce this blue card thing tomorrow. What I read bits of today, I don't know if I've read it right. If you're on a yellow card and then you get a blue card, it turns into a red. 2 blue cards. If you get a blue card and you sin bin for 10 minutes and then you get another one later on in the game, it's then a red card. So basically, they're taking the red cards away with these blue cards. It's yellow and blue cards. It's an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Again, they're messing with something that hasn't been looked into properly. It hasn't been trialed. What's the point? What's the point? You know, going back to VAR, you can't celebrate a goal anymore. First thing, before VAR was brought in, bloody hell, I used to end up 5-6 rows away from my seat with the celebration. Now I'm scared to move because you don't know if the goal's going to stand, and then you celebrate again. The rules that they're bringing into football is ruining it. Do you know, if you want to trial that for next season, trial it in a lower league or trial it in cup games. Don't bring it in straight away to the biggest league in the world because it's not going to work. I know that. You know that. And millions of football fans think it's a disgrace. It's an absolute shocking decision to bring blue cards in. And we all know it's another thing like VAR that's not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with anything. I will be doing a video tomorrow to discuss about profit and sustainability and potentially the new rules that are being spoken about, which are an absolute disgrace as well and benefit the top 6 even more than the current rules. But I think we will leave it there. John, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for coming on the channel.
Score prediction.
Co-host, my friend, my family, all of that. Score prediction for me is Manchester City 1, Everton 0.
I go 2-0, but I don't think it'll be an easy 2-0 for them.
Sound. Guys, keep smiling. Up the toffees. It's been a pleasure as always, and we'll see you soon. Peace.